What's going on, everybody? I'm Eating Things, and you're watching Less Than Rhetorical. And today we're on the map consulate, and we're going over a couple of key things: perspective and how to pie a room. And I'm sorry if you watched this video yesterday or you were watching on Twitch yesterday. I started the video and got interrupted by family and was unable to finish the video, so I apologize to you for that. But hopefully today we'll have a little better luck. So. I just want to go over some basics for just a second. Some basics in, Siege. Attackers have four basic goals. One is to secure map control. Two, secure at least one half of the site that you're planning to plant in. And three, plant the diffuser. Four, play a post plant. Those are the basic goals of the attacking team. And, you might think, well, that's pretty simple, but at the same time, there's just all sorts of things that come with that. When you're securing map control, that involves approaching the building safely from the outside. It involves gaining information with pre-placed drones, cutting off rotates, teamwork to create multiple pressure points, to move the defense where you want them to be, or push them into your cutoffs so that you can get a kill. Often there's aggressive action in taking areas that the defense has left undefended. There's a lot of things that go into just securing map control, but one thing that is going to help you to do that more successfully is to understand perspective, and also to understand how to clear a room when it becomes time to do so. So I've got Alibi here, and I've got 3 alibis set up. Hello, Alibi. There you are. Hello. So my 3 alibis are set up here in this room, and we're just going to pretend for a moment that we are in a situation where I have to clear this room and I don't know who's in this room. So how do I do it? Because what you don't want to do is just, okay, I'm in the room now, where do I shoot? Because there's 3 people now that I will have to shoot against, and potentially there could be people on the other side. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to just walk in front of the door looking around, who all's in here? Who's in here? And get my head blown off, because those are great ways to do that. We're going to imagine you don't have a drone. If I had a drone, obviously I would drone in this room first. I'd see 3 people looking at this door. I might not want to take that engagement. Or I might want to modify how I take that engagement. But if I didn't have a drone, let's talk about how you do this. Well, what you do is you pie the room. Pieing the room is a term that's actually a military term. It's for cutting the room into sections. So this here would be a section. So this, you could put, draw an imaginary line from the door to this section right here, and that's one section of the pie. Now you draw another imaginary line, that's another section of the pie, and then another section of the pie, and then another section, until you have the whole half of the pie. And the goal of this is to not expose yourself to every angle while you're clearing one angle at a time. So you're just clearing one section of the pie, one angle at a time, while not exposing yourself to the other 2 angles. So for example, if I wanted to clear out this alibi here, I would peek just this angle, but I wouldn't be exposed to this alibi here, who is holding another angle. And I really should move that, maybe out a little bit more so they've got a view on the door, because they're holding a passive angle right now. We're going to talk about passive and aggressive angles here in just a moment. So I would start on this end of the pie, and I would just kind of go through and check my corners. So I know, from map knowledge, I know there's an angle over here I can't see. But I'm checking to see, is anybody holding these, this crouched angle over here? All right, are there head height holes? Is there a rotate? There's no rotate. There's head height holes, so I'm going to check those angles. I'm going to check just through here. And I'm just pieing the room, one section at a time. Now, I see people who sometimes do it like this. That's not necessarily wrong. It's a good way to die, but it's not necessarily wrong. You know, especially if you're low on time. You know, you can see that I came to Alibi right as soon as I was entering the room there. And forgive my crosshair placement here. I haven't warmed up or anything. This is my first game on, first time on. But you're gonna have much more success without information to just quick peek the areas. Now, oh, there she is, and there we go. Now, here's where the problem happens, and this is true in a military situation as well. Now that I've pied the room, I've gotten all the way through and I'm at my final angle. There are two angles I cannot see, one on this side and one on this side. So I can do a 50-50 shot and engage one of them at a time, hoping that the other one is not able to see me and kill me from behind. Or I can come up with a different strategy of how to enter the room, which I'm going to talk to you about here in a second. This, by the way, the alibis are set up here, is called, oh, it just went right out of my head. A crossfire. This is called a crossfire. It means that the enemy, i.e. me, in this situation, has to pick, do I engage with one or do I engage with the other? And while engaged with one, then the other one has the opportunity to shoot them in the back. And you get what's called a trade. So that's a trade. Having crossfires on defense, so important. And this would be an excellent way of defending this particular door. However, as an attacker, I have to think about, I never want to enter a room where I can be shot from more than one angle at a time. Whether it's the crossfires on both sides, or whether it's all these different angles that maybe are created by somebody opening up space. Right? I never want to enter a room where I can be shot from more than one angle at a time. If I am going to do that, then I've got to check every angle before I go into the room. That's the only safe way to enter the room. But I can't check this angle, and I can't check that angle. So, what do I do? In this situation, if I'm an attacker, I can move these people off of these angles in multiple different ways. For this angle, I could bring a hard breach. A hard breach could open up this wall right here, and that moves this person off this angle. Actually, honestly, I could bring a teammate. A teammate could just come in here and have this person's, can force this person to move by taking this map control right here. So if I've got this map control, I can force this person to move. And I can do it from further back as well, from right here, but that would also force the person to move. I could also bring a soft breacher, and I could breach this wall right here. After I breach this wall, this alibi will not feel safe. If I just stand here for a second, I think I'd be better off to maybe breach over here. But if this is breached, I'm not very safe here. There's only one angle for me to hold. So I might get aggressive at this point. So you're kind of forcing the defense to move. If you've got someone covering this from here, as they start to get aggressive, you've got a free kill. So you're moving the defense as you attack to areas where you're holding cutoffs. That's how you gain that map control. Another way that I could do this is I could send a teammate this direction. Maybe they come in this window. Doesn't that take a lot of shots to get that window open? All right, they come in this window, and now I'm forcing Alibi to move because she can't stand in this position. Now, I could have done this all by myself. I could have opened this wall, checked this position here, and then I can easily clear the room from here. So I could pie the room this way, checking my corners and clearing out. And then once I know the room's clear, I can just enter from this breach, as opposed to having to enter through this door. So there's other ways to clear the room. Personally, I think gaining this map control right here and then opening this breach is perhaps easier. Then you can just plant over here on this side, or even plant right here would be a great plant spot. Personally, I think that's a little bit better, but you get the gist. All right, let's talk about it in one more location, just so I can clearly explain the situation. Let's say that we are in the basement and we're attacking the basement. And I've got this map control here, and I know nobody's in CEO, but I know there's somebody lurking around kitchen. And I know they've got some sort of a rotate. So I want to clear this area out. Okay? Wow. That is the most resilient. It's just in the middle. It's not attached to anything. Are you seeing this? Okay. All right. So I want to clear this room out. So I'm going to pie the room just like I did before. There is a little tuck spot right here, and this is metal, so someone could be back here. So you do have to keep that in mind. But I'm just going to quickly just take a look around. I'm checking as many angles as I can. And I just pied the room. Now when I come in, I'm going to pre-fire that angle because I know I've looked here. There's no one here. There could be someone here, but I'm assuming I can get past them faster than I can get past this person here to get to them. So I would swing in, pre-fire, and then go immediately back to make sure no one's there. I do have to be aware of the rotate, so you know, you could argue that's the wrong decision. Maybe the right decision is to come in like this and to go first there, then here, then back to clearing kitchen. And then again, I'm pieing the room, right? Again, I'm starting from here, getting as much information as I can. I'm going through and I'm checking each corner in each area. Right? Maybe he's outside there. And then I finally come in, you know, at the end and check the corner I couldn't check. So pieing the room. All right. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that clarifies things or not. All right. Hopefully it does. Okay. Now we're gonna do another exercise here. And this one's about perspective. So I'm going to pick up Alibi. Come here, Alibi. And I'm going to open this up just slightly here. Alright. And I'm going to put Alibi as close as possible to this right here. This cover. Okay. I'm going to stand on this Alibi right here. Alright. In this situation, I can see I'm in the same spot as the Alibi is standing right here. I can see Alibi's shoulder. I can't see anything else from Alibi, but I can see her shoulder. I think I can see actually a portion of her head. Yes, I can. And I can hit it. So I can see a portion of Alibi's head, and I can see her shoulder in this perspective. But there's no cover around me. You see this? Now, we've been talking about pieing a room. You're kind of pieing it behind cover. But here I'm not behind cover or anything, but I'm looking through this piece of cover right here, and I can see Alibi. All right? Now let me show you what the other perspective looks like. I'm going to stand on this Alibi. Oops. I was leaning. So let's not lean here. just to demonstrate, I can still see Alibi's head. I can still see a portion of her shoulder there. Let's go back. I'm not going to lean. Let me get to where I'm standing in the same position. I can't see any of Alibi at this point. This is perspective. Siege perspective. It's just games in general. When you are, and in life, when you're close up to an object in Rainbow Six Siege, you will not be able to see someone who's further away. Now, I leaned right, but, you know, if I was here, he would still be able to see my head and part of my shoulder. But I would not be able to see any of, I say he, but it was she. I would not be able to see any of her. So the way this works is the camera in Siege is actually in the middle of your eyes. So it's in your head. This is the camera right here. That's what the opponent can see. And when you're further away from cover, you can actually see more. So if I back up, and let me just remove Alibi. Thank you, Alibi. I'm just going to back up, and I can't back up too far. But you notice as I back up, I'm gaining more perspective. But if I push forward, I'm gaining less perspective. So I can't back up too far because this wall's here, but if I kept backing up, I would be able to see all of Alibi. Let's do this again. But we're going to do it up close. So from here, just demonstrating again, I can see a portion of Alibi's head, a portion of Alibi's arm. As I get closer, that disappears. And now I can't see any of Alibi. But if I move this Alibi right up close, like, hold on, let's do this right. There we go. Here's where I can't see anything. I'm gonna move this Alibi right here. That's as close as I can get it. And I'm gonna stand here. Now I can't see Alibi at all, right? So I'm gonna back up. Now I can see her shoulder. If I keep backing up, well, I can see a bunch of the shoulder. I can't actually see her head from back here. This is as far back as I can go on this angle. Well, maybe not. Yeah, I can't go further back. But you get the picture, right? You get the picture that you can. That's probably a bad demonstration, but you get the picture of what you can see. Let me put Alibi. Let's find a longer hallway here. Let's do this right here. Okay? You might think that this right here is a great angle to hold. Oh, look at this pixel peak. This is fantastic. I've got this amazing pixel. And so therefore, I'm holding a great angle. This is a super aggressive angle to hold, but it's not actually a good angle. I'm going to put Alibi down. Okay. So Alibi is holding our pixel. And I'm going to run all the way back here. And let me grab the second Alibi for a second. All right. Can you see Alibi? Yes, I can. Can Alibi see us? No, because the camera is in the middle of her head. And so we cannot see Alibi. So I'm going to put this Alibi here where I know I can see Alibi. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to go all the way back here. And I'm going to hold pixel. Oof. Can't quite get the pixel. There you go. Well, how about that? I can see a portion of alibi there. That's cool. I didn't know that. So maybe this would be like a pretty 50-50 gunfight. But I can't see her head. And it'd be tough for me to take that fight. Let's see, can I see her from here? Yeah, I can see her foot from here. Can I move this over? Let's move this over. Yep, I can see her foot. Alright. Let's go stand and get it just right. Alibi's gone. Can't see her. I can look in this pixel. Nothing. But she knows I'm here because she can see my foot, because I'm closer to this cover than Alibi is. If I back up and swing out more, she's going to see me first and have the advantage in the gunfight and be able to pre-fire before my head actually comes out. That's how you're losing gunfights, is when you're too close to cover and you think you've got just this amazing angle, but in reality, you're showing your foot. On the flip side, let's put Alibi right here. All right? I can't see Alibi right now. But if I... Oops, I moved to the left a little. If I back up, that's called controller aim. And I just keep backing up. The further I get away from the object... Oh, I'm stuck on something. It's that. There we go. As I get further back, eventually, I can see portions of Alibi's foot. It works a lot better when you're, you know, just... it works a lot better like in certain doorways and long hallways like this, because you can see things, and you've got to pay close attention to the little minute pixels here. But nonetheless, I'm in a better situation to be able to see Alibi right here than Alibi is in a situation to be able to see me. So like if I were to go here and look, where's the Alibi clone? Did I pick it up? Yeah, I did. Even if I were to put this right here, and then I go stand in Alibi, you get the picture. Alibi can't see anything from here. So, this type of hallway, as I'm looking at it, feels kind of like more like a 50-50 gunfight. There are plenty of places where that does not apply. And it's not 50-50. So let's talk about aggressive and passive angles. All right? An aggressive and a passive angle, if I want to hold, and forget about this door here for a second, and forget that this is here. Just imagine, I would probably not hold here without knowing that this area in the basement are completely clear, and having some sort of sound cue of some kind over here to let me know that somebody's coming. But nonetheless, if we just forget all that for a second, let's say I want to hold this hallway, all right? And I'm going to hold it like this. Okay, that's how I want to hold it. All right, that's called an aggressive angle. I'm going to put Alibi right up here. Nope, too close. Move her over to the right. Still too close. Okay. It's not perfect, but you get the picture. That's a pretty aggressive angle. I'd probably want to tighten that up a little bit if I was holding this like this. All right, let's say I want to hold it like this. You wouldn't try to hold an aggressive angle like this, because you're just going to get swung on and not be able to, you know, put your crosshair appropriately. You could probably hold your crosshair here, but if he quick peeks you, then you can't shift to it, and you're going to be dead. If he swings too wide, you're having to shift. And again, you know, if I did my pieing of my room again, I checked and you're not there, oh, you're there, then I just pre-fire as I swing, and, you know, the person is dead. So you want to hold it from this side. And you're thinking, oh, well, I'm going to hold this aggressive angle like this. Now, the problem with aggressive angles, they are good if somebody just swings into your angle. Because now they swing in, you can swing out and shoot them. But you've really only got a pixel to be able to see them from like this. And if I put Alibi here, this is a truly 50-50 gunfight. I can see Alibi before she can see me. And Alibi, you know, sees a bunch of me when she actually swings in. So, I mean, it's kind of 50-50 as far as who's going to win that gunfight. But the problem is when you encounter somebody who knows all the angles of the map. Because if I know there's an angle over there, then I'm just going to... I've run out of bullets. I'm going to pre-fire that angle. Don't do what I did and miss it. But I'm going to pre-fire that angle before I start to swing. And so I might pre-fire, and then I start swinging, pre-firing here. Someone at that level now makes this super aggressive tight angle look like as you just die to someone you never even saw. You think, oh, he's cheating. He's cheating. He knew where I was at. That's not fair. But in reality, they just know the map better than you do. So holding an aggressive angle is dangerous. It can give you a 50-50 gunfight, but it's ultimately fairly dangerous. What if I was to hold a passive angle? Now there's two ways here on this particular... Oh wait, I could hold the passive angle. I could hold it like this, or I could hold it like this. Either way is a passive angle. And the point is, I want to prevent the attackers from gaining this map space and going through here. So as an attacker, I'm going to push through here, and I'm going to probably check here first. So maybe as a defender, I might be better off to hold this passive angle right here, knowing the attacker is going to be right here. This is only good if you have utility. If you don't have utility, just be aware you have to have really good ears, because this is very quiet. It's hard to hear those footsteps when you have gunshots going on, you've got grenades blowing up. So, if you put a Melusi Banshee or a Proxmine or something here that gives you the intel, then when you know that they're there, you can just swing out and pre-fire and they're dead, because you'll have swinger's advantage, peeker's advantage. So that's just a couple of things about passive angles, aggressive angles, information about perspective, and also how to pie a room. I hope that helps with your gunfights. I hope that helps you to gain map control a little better on the attacking side. Trying to think, you know, if there's anything further with that. No, I guess there's not. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Check out some of my other videos on my YouTube channel as I talk through some tips and tricks and some other things with regard to Rainbow Six Siege and the basics of Siege. Thank you for watching.